Hi, it's Stephen Caleb and Roy Huntington. You may remember him from such magazines as American Handgunner and Guns Magazine. And we're here to do another episode of Smythbusters, a very special episode. And Roy, you had an idea.
I'm reeling from the fact that I'm in a special episode. So
very special
thank you
episode.
for that. Yeah. Well, you know, with the explosion of red dot sights in the industry today, it was inevitable that this was going to happen. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, let me get that cover off. I know.
Keep it away.
It's a red dot sight on
Look
a
at him
revolver.
smile. He's
I know.
beaming.
See, this is part of the problem right here.
I feel like I'm part of the solution.
Because when we say iron sights, he goes like, "What? Huh? Where do you put the batteries?"
Yeah.
So I think though the moral of this story is that, and I know that even you know who here is going to agree with me. We're all about shooting and supporting you guys. And
Right.
if you want to put a red dot sight on your revolver, then you know what? Put a red dot sight on your revolver. I mean, that's what I think. You will agree, right?
You know, if that sight's got so much fuzz on it, you can't see the target anymore. You need a red dot.
And it is true. You know, I call these little miniature TV sets. You know, because if you think of it, it's like a little TV set. But when you're like a seasoned shooter, the way I am and the way you are, I have to say, I have a couple of guns with red dot sights. It's nice to be able to see them again. And so it's all about keep shooting, keep having fun. I think that's what's important. And also one interesting thing about these is that these guys like them.
Yes, these guys. So define these guys real quick, just for those guys.
That's right.
Under 60, under 50?
Yeah, under, the young enthusiasts, shall we call them
There
that?
you
So,
go.
Young enthusiasts.
yeah.
I'll take it. So yeah, red dot sights. I have plenty of guns with and without. And if we want to kind of really get down to it, let's talk about the pros and cons real quick. Pros is just a good, clear sight picture. You know,
One focus, plane to focus on.
that's it. You just put the dot on the target and you're good to go. Cons, I will say this, especially with the revolver, the height from here, or the distance from the top of that sight to the bottom of that butt is huge.
Yeah.
So you could carry it, but it's not the most practical carry gun because of that.
It is true. Even with the smaller red dot sights, you do, especially when you put big target grips on like
Yeah.
this. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I think, and we all have to admit this now. You know, who here has had a red dot sight fail? Right? Yeah, we all have. And there's a lot of talk about, well, when that occurs, you just transition to your iron sights real quick, which is possible, but you better train a lot if that's what you're going to do. So, yes, put a red dot sight on your revolver. If you're going to carry it as a defensive gun rather than a toy play gun like for competition and shooting small game and stuff,
Right.
well, you absolutely better find someone who knows what they're doing and teaches you how you actually use a red dot sight.
Right.
Because there's some tricks, tricks
are.
and tips. And then you'll learn how to transition to your irons if necessary. So, have anything to add to that, young man?
You know, a red dot on a .22 revolver would be a beautiful thing for training. It really would, and for squirrels, for that matter.
Yeah, it's
Especially
true.
for squirrels. Yeah.
Especially for squirrels, yeah.
And since all those Smith & Wessons come drilled and tapped now, nothing but a thing to bolt that down on there.
Well, you just brought up a very good point. Chances are good you may need to have a plate or adapters or something like that, which is certainly something that you can find at Brownells, oddly enough.
Right.
And so don't let like a fear of like, oh, that's really complicated, I'm afraid I can't do it. The guys from Brownells can help you. Jump on their website. Everything's delineated perfectly. If you have this sight, you need this space for this gun. It's easy to understand. But whether or not you're going to put a red dot on your revolver is a decision you have to make, right, guys?
All right, so it's important to say that red dot is definitely not a useless gadget, as it's been accused of being sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely a viable option if that's something you train with and you're used to shooting with. You'll be proficient with it.
Yep. So whatever ways you decide to go, we've got your back.
Yeah, but we'll talk about you if you do it.
That's right.
So, in classic Smythbuster fashion, is a red dot on a revolver a sacrilege, if you will? I'd say that one's busted. That's not true.
Otherwise, I'm a sinner.
Well,
Yeah.
you're that anyway, but that's a whole nother episode.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it has uses, and it's like I like your idea for small game shooting and stuff like that.
Very good
I
for
think
that.
for defensive uses, you need to really think about it before you do it.
Yeah.
Because you brought up
Yeah.
that good point about it adds a lot of bulk.
It does.
Like I said, it's like
right.
a TV set on top of here.
Yep.
And but like anything that we do in the shooting community, there's pros and cons for everything. But I think the real important thing is, as my old friend Brent Wheat says, editor of Guns Magazines, gun is one letter away from fun.
Beautiful.
sounds good. And with that, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time with another episode of Smythbusters.